I was living in a state of fight or flight. How many women are living that way where it just could be one thing that sets you off in your day, in your week, in your month, right? We live in a time where we are more disconnected from ourselves, from our bodies, from each other than ever before. And so what I want to focus on today is having the ability to regulate your nervous system in an instant. I am Dr. Melissa Saunders. I've been in the biohacking space for 20 years. And my husband and I run a large wellness center in Livingston, New Jersey. So there's this really cool shift in biohacking, which I like to call it bioharmonizing, because we're not hacking. It's a very masculine word. We're working with the body. We're bioharmonizing. But what I am very afraid of that I am seeing in this shift is that we are putting all of the power of our health in these outside tools, and we are forgetting that all the tools do is get us back to us. You guys, we are living in an age where we have literally outsourced everything. We have outsourced our time, our energy, our attention, and now we are starting to outsource our health. And it's getting a little out of hand, and I want to be very clear. I love these tools, but these are macro tools. These are the big tools. They take time. Sometimes they cost money. Sometimes we can't access these tools. And so this isn't like either the big tools or being able to do this ourselves. This is a both and. This is both using the macro tools when we need them, when we need a little help from our friends and something passive, but also having the ability to microdose, I'm not talking about mushrooms, but microdose nervous system regulation and connection with ourselves. Because if you really zoom out, all of these tools have one thing in common. They are reconnecting you to you. We live in a time, you've heard many talks up here, we live in a time where we are more disconnected from ourselves, from our bodies, from each other than ever before. Self-care needs a rebrand. It's an inside job, and it's about getting back connected with yourself. And that's what I'm gonna teach you here today in 2-minute tools, because this is how we take care of ourselves, especially as busy women. And just for a second, can we just for a minute, maybe we've gotten super out of touch with ourselves. If you just look at some of the machines, I heard someone once say, there's not a big difference between a biohacker and an 80 or 90-year-old person. The amount of supplements we're taking and the amount of IVs we're taking, that we can't handle light, that we've got to wear our glasses, that we've got to go to bed at a certain amount of time, we've got to measure, we've got to watch our HRV. Like Dr. Tam was just talking about, this is about resilience. We are incredibly healing and regulating. And we have got to remember that and not switch one broken medical system for another one. Again, we are living in an age of information and knowledge, and I am here to remind you to get back to your ancient innate wisdom. Like I said, our bodies are incredibly self-healing and self-regulating. There are so many things going on in your system that you're not even thinking about right now. Your heart is beating, you're breathing, your blood is circulating. You cut your arm, a scab forms, and you heal without even thinking about it. That's your autonomic nervous system. Our nervous system is the master controller and regulator of our ability to heal. And so what I want to focus on today is having the ability to regulate your nervous system in an instant, so that in those moments where you cannot access your sauna, where you cannot go in the hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber, that you can get back to you in a moment. It can get so loud out there. How many of you, with all of your to-dos on your massive to-do list, have at one point or another not only become overwhelmed with your to-do list, but also maybe now with what you need to do for your health? So it can get really noisy out there, and my goal is by the end of this talk, you have these really, really easy tools to anchor into in the moment. And ultimately, what I'm going to teach you is how to get out of fight or flight. There's been so many nervous system talks on here. I love that nervous system is having her moment she deserves. And get back into your parasympathetics, right? So we now know We need to balance our hormones. We need to regulate our blood sugar. We need to get our sleep. And our nervous systems are shot. So what do we do with that? I am all about making things super simple and super fun. I've got 3 kids. I need it to be easy, quick, and effective. And so we're not even going to think about this like going from sympathetics to parasympathetics. We're going to zoom out. I'm going to help you know how to go from your busy head into your heart, into present time in the moments that matter most. How many of you here are parents? How many of you parents have ever heard the term enjoy every moment? Like all the time. Is every moment enjoyable as a parent? How about these ones? Right? So in my mind, the goal is not to enjoy every moment, but it's to have the nervous system flexibility and ability to go from your head to your heart in the moments that matter most. Because also, whether you're a parent, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you have a busy work life, we have all had those times when we are like in go, go, go mode. It's beta. We're going to talk about brainwaves, living in beta, that get shit done, I call it. And we've got to slow down. It's having the ability to get from our head to our heart in the moments that matter most. Because in any of those situations, whether it's blowing up at our children, or the coworker, or the person working at the grocery line, we beat ourselves up with guilt and shame for not showing up at our best. And this is how we change that. This is so important to me because I have a personal story. I am a woman who prides myself on doing it all. I have been a busy chiropractor in our clinic, seeing a full load of patients, working with and training and managing our staff of anywhere from 25 to 30 people. I have homeschooled and world schooled our children. And in doing all that, I also knew that I needed to put my oxygen mask on first. I needed to take care of myself so I could take care of my family and my patients. In the past, the only way that I knew how to do that was yet another to-do on my list. It was an appointment that I had to schedule. It was something outside of me. And so there were so many moments, like those moments that we saw on the slide before, that I needed to take care of myself and I couldn't. Because in my mind, I thought the only way was this external tool. And so what started happening is I got these little whispers, and I wonder if you guys have ever gotten these whispers, which, by the way, our nervous system is our intuition. Our nervous system is our intuition. We are highly intuitive beings. She speaks in whispers. She speaks in symptoms and signals. It's like that little tight hamstring, and you're like, God, I really need to stretch, but I can't, I'm too busy. And then boom, you throw out your back. She speaks very quietly. And so as a mama, I was hearing these whispers, sometimes in the morning, that my body needed extra sleep, I was tired. Maybe I was in a part of my cycle where I needed extra rest. But I thought in my mind, you know, as a healthy woman, I'm supposed to go lift the weights. I'm supposed to go do the workout. And so there were so many times in my life where I pushed that whisper down. At night, I also had the whispers kick in. And any women, have you ever had this experience, or any men in the room as well? Getting home from work, right? I've been away from my sweet family all day. They're hungry for dinner. They've got homework. All I want to do is put my feet up. It's been a really long day. I've worked my tushy off, but I can't. And so that whisper comes up, I need a rest. I am like, now I know, living in beta, living in my head, I need to get back into my heart. I'm with my children, but I'm focusing on all the meetings that didn't go well today. And so I push those whispers down. But we all know the body keeps the score. The nervous system doesn't lie. And just like trying to push a beach ball under the ocean, at some point it's going to come up and jack you in the face. And that happened to me. And so my whispers got louder. They became screams. I got headaches. It started to get really difficult for me to hear my children's voices. It felt like nails on a chalkboard. I started getting lost on my way to work, which was 2 minutes down the road from our home. I got increasing stiffness, literally vertebrae by vertebrae. My spine started to tighten and stiffen. As a chiropractor, I knew something was horribly wrong. But I didn't tell anyone, and I pushed through because that's what we do, right? The final clincher was that my beautiful son, who's in the audience, he's now 14. I almost keep saying 15. He's almost 15. We were at his kindergarten graduation. And I was sitting there, I was breastfeeding Kai on my lap. Wyatt was next to me. My husband was on the other side. And all these mamas are crying, and I'm crying. And these mamas are like, oh my God, our kids are graduating. Like, it's such a moment. And I wasn't crying because of that. I was crying because I couldn't remember my son's name. I ended up with meningitis and encephalitis, mold toxicity, and Lyme disease. And so those were, for me, the straw that broke the camel's back. But because I was living in a state of fight or flight, it could have been anything. How many women are living that way where it just could be one thing that sets you off in your day, in your week, in your month, right? That was mine. And so what I learned in this experience is that obviously I needed to get better. I used all these tools to get myself there. Thank God for the macro tools. But what I learned is that we need to have the ability to take care of ourselves in the moments where we're cooking dinner for our kids and we can't get in our sauna or on our PEMF mat.
Hey, quick pause. If you are someone who loves a checklist because it makes you feel like, all right, I actually did something today, this is for you. I created something called the Self-With Checklist. It's basically your super simple reminder to get in your regulation reps, those 2 minutes, 3 times a day, for you in those micro moments you actually have. This isn't another thing to add to your busy to-do list. The power is in how simple and subtle this is. You'll be shocked how much more connected and grounded you start to feel just by checking off these tiny boxes consistently. You can grab it through the first link below in the description or by scanning the QR code here.
Okay, this is one of my favorite tools. I highly recommend you guys take a picture of this slide. We are cyclical beings. Men and women are cyclical beings. And when we can live in rhythm as much as possible with our cycles, it's a really cool system to help you understand the signals of your body until you can just listen and follow what feels good. Remember, our nervous system is our intuition, and she's going to tell you through signals and symptoms and whispers. But as you're getting a warm-up to that, I want you to have this really tangible tool. How many of you are familiar with cycle syncing? Okay, yes. So cycle syncing is, as much as possible, living your life in accordance with your menstrual cycle. If you're no longer bleeding, your day one would be the new moon. And so what cycle syncing does that's really cool is it gives us a permission slip and it reminds us to pause. And more importantly than that, I feel, is it reminds you there's nothing wrong with you, that you're just living out of accordance with your body's natural rhythms. What do I mean by that? If you are about to have your period, any woman will tell you, you do not want to be on stage. You do not want to be running around to all the social events and dinners and all the things. You want to be home. You want to be inward. You want to be binging Netflix. It's not because there's something wrong with you. From an ancient wisdom perspective, that is our most intuitive time. So how cool, the body tells us. Go in, get quiet, listen to you, but we've forgotten how to do that. Cycle syncing reminds us. Now, cycle syncing is really cool, but it is a monthly or maybe even like weekly opportunity to reset. What I mean by that is if you feel like, God, everything's just coming at me, I feel crazy, what's going on, check in with your cycle syncing. Are you living in accordance? And maybe you're not. And it's a really cool system to help you get back. This is so much more powerful than that because this is a daily rhythm. Our brain functions like gears in a car. We have 5 gears. We are living in the middle gear, one main gear. And what we need to do is we need to warm up into that gear and we need to downshift. Now on this slide, really important, if you can see, there are windows of time, 5 to 7 a.m., 7 to 10 a.m., 10 to 2 p.m. That does not mean this is a 2-hour practice. I am all for 2-minute tools. This is somewhere in that window of time, depending on when you wake up, to lean in to this brainwave. Okay, so real quick, and go to my YouTube, message me, I will walk you guys through this. This is so, so, so powerful. In the morning, we wake up in one of the most powerful clarity, intuition, connected to source states ever. It's called theta. If you've ever heard someone say, I get my best ideas in the shower, that's theta. Every time you daydream, you cleanse the slate of your brain. That's theta. You hear you instead of hearing everybody else. All you gotta do to stay in theta is not look at your phone, not go under artificial lighting. So 5 minutes in the morning, sister, what do? We go in red light. We sit on our PEMF mat, we snuggle. It does not need to be in 1-hour routine. Sometimes it's 2 minutes, sometimes it's 5. Ends up a lot of times being a little bit longer, but this is 2 minutes. It's just going in gear 1 before we shift into gear 2. The next one, alpha. Science shows alpha brainwaves lead to peak performance. This is our present time state where you can actually connect with your loved ones. Alpha is one of the main things I want you to take away from this. We'll hopefully talk about it in a little bit. Alpha is connector. So for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, connect. Whatever that means, connect with you. Connect with your loved ones, snuggle in, connect with your body, move, journal. This is about staying off our phones and our devices for a few minutes in the morning. Because once we look at them, we go into gear 3, which is beta. Beta's amazing. She is our marathoner. She is the go-getter. She gets shit done. I love beta. But beta is meant to work from 9 to 5. You go in beta every time you look at your phone. We are living in beta from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. So the magic of this is knowing at any time when you're feeling frazzle-dazzled and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Get off your phone and microdose alpha. I'm gonna give you some ways soon to do that in 2 minutes. After beta, at the end of your workday, after you get it all done, then we downshift, we go through alpha, back through theta, and then that gets us into delta, deep restoration and sleep. This whole thing deserves like an hour, but that's all I got for this part. But Emil did talk about, if you were here earlier, he said something changed in his routine and he got the best sleep of his life. He got a 100 sleep score. Brainwaves are my lens. And so he said what he did is he went in red light and he read a book. And what my brain heard, because my lens is brainwaves and nervous system regulation, what he did was a few minutes of downshifting into theta. Reading is incredibly powerful for balancing your brain. It doesn't even matter what you're reading, but moving your eyes across a page literally triggers the part of your brain that tells you you're safe and relaxes you. 2 minutes of reading, red light, you're gonna sleep like Emil. I just wrote a book with Hay House. I'm super, super excited about it. It's got all this in there. I paired neuroscience with the soul. We are not done yet. But if you pre-order the book, you get this whole resource on the brainwave guide. So we've heard about the importance of regulating your nervous system, but like, how do we do that, right? So I don't want that to be yet another stress for you. I want you to know exactly what to do, exactly how to do it in 2 minutes. And so Emil also talked about something really cool, and I don't know who was here for it, but he said that, you know, we're really mastering like metabolic switching. Having the ability to burn carbs and sugar versus ketones. Who's familiar with that? Great, okay. So what these things that I'm gonna teach you do, teach your nervous system flexibility. Because the way we are designed to function from a nervous system hardwiring perspective is we are designed to have stress. We are designed to go into fight or flight, and then we're supposed to regulate. But we have forgotten how to do that. We have forgotten how to regulate on our own. We need to remind the hardwiring how to do that. And the nervous system is really cool because it's very malleable and it changes very fast. And the way that you change it is through frequency and consistency and short bouts. So this made me so happy to understand and realize, because not only did I not have to do the 1 hour self-care practices to feel better and get in my heart, but these short ones actually work better. My son Levi, I'm gonna give you an analogy. Levi, I'm sure you love this. So he installed a pull-up bar on the door frame of his bedroom. Dude does a couple pull-ups every time he goes in his room, and he is jacked and can do so many pull-ups. He is using consistency and frequency to completely change his physiology, and that's what we're gonna do with the regulation reps. What I want you to really get from these, this is the meat of the talk. Ask me any questions, message me after, whatever. I want you to see that these are easy and fun. We have made our health so complicated, you guys, and all we gotta do is have fun and get back to ourselves. All right, expanded gaze, simply looking up from your phone and your devices. 2 minutes. I do this, I walk outside my door, I look at the lizards down the road, I get a huge smile on my face, they're all like running around, acting all lizardy. Expanded gaze for 2 to 5 minutes reduces your amygdala activity, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, increases your alpha waves, connector, present time. You guys, it is the equivalent to 20 to 30 minutes on a VR meditation headset. Oh my God, this is my favorite. Okay, blast your favorite song. So when you're like frazzle-dazzled in the middle of your day, first, I want you to start to be able to ask yourself, not what the world needs from me, but what is it that I need in this moment? I do this 100 times a day. You'll get that whisper, you'll get that answer, and listen to it, and she will get louder. Blasting your favorite song, 2 minutes, releases dopamine, boosts HRV, reduces cortisol, reduces anxiety, promotes sleep. You guys, it's 20, 30 minutes on a pump session, right? So when you can't get on your pump mat, we do this all the time in our kitchen. My kids think we're so cringy, but like also they see me regulating myself and I know that makes them feel good. Verbal processing to a friend. How many people drop their friends' voice notes that are like a podcast long? Okay, it feels good. All these things, you guys, you've done them and they feel amazing. We have forgotten to just follow that. If you remember one thing, you know the answer. You have always had it. Follow that. Follow what feels good. But I'm sharing the science because we've forgotten how powerful these little things are. Verbal processing with a friend boosts oxytocin and a lot of other things. This is what I really want you to see. How many of us are kind of stressed, overwhelmed, that we got to balance our blood sugar? We got to balance our hormones. Watch out for your thyroid. Fix your circadian rhythm. Do you know what's at the top of that? Does anyone know what's at the top of that influences everything? Anyone? Oxytocin. How do we make oxytocin? We play. We have fun. We snuggle. Like literally top chain upstream. Have fun. Stop worrying about the rest. It'll take care of itself. Why does this matter? This matters because we have overcomplicated it. You guys, it's easy, it's fun. I stand here as a 44-year-old woman who went back to gymnastics 2 years ago. I'm having more fun in my life than I've ever had. And I will tell you, when I walk into my home after tumbling and playing on the trampoline with my 13-year-old son and all of his friends, and I'm just waiting for all the other moms to join me on the tramp, there is no machine that could replicate how I feel. And so in everything that you're doing here, these tools are so powerful, but please remember one thing. They're connecting you back to you. You are the magic. You always have been. You've just gotten disconnected and you've forgotten. All right, you guys, not only in that slide am I having fun, but like, look at my children. We co-regulate together. When you get in your heart, everyone around you does the same. Self-care needs a rebrand. It's an inside job. I have cracked the code. I've spent the last decade. I combine neuroscience, the proof, with the wisdom that we know to be true, and it's all in my book. I'm announcing it here today. It's available for pre-order. I would love for you guys to all grab it, share it with your community, share it with your friends. Let's do this together. Thank you so much.